Hey everyone, today we're going to be unboxing the Jabra PanaCast 40 video bar system. We're going to be doing a full product review in another video. I'm excited about it because this is for small spaces. There's not enough good solutions for small spaces, but let's say that for the next video, this one is about the unboxing. Now this is going to be unlike any unboxing that I've ever done because there's so much going on with this box. When I was at the Jabra booth at the last big trade show, everyone was like, let me see this box, let me see this box, because the box itself is a story. And what everyone was so excited about were these windows, these little panel windows that let you provision or set up the device before you even take it out of the box. Now, I think there's something that's just as cool or maybe even cooler on another side of the box, but let's talk about these windows for a minute. So the windows let you set up the device without taking it out of the box. Let's go through how that works. And then I want to talk about why that's a big deal, why that's important, because to be honest, at first I didn't quite get it myself. So let's follow the instructions. Step one is to cut this. We get one take on this. I hope everything's rolling. Here we go. Okay. Step two, slide to open. And then I guess step three is to follow these instructions. Oh, but wait, before I do, there's a piece of paper in here. Let's take a look at this. Okay. This is the cover-up sticker, System Provisions. So when we're done and we close it up, we'll replace this on it and we'll know that this one is done and we won't cut it open and do it again. I'm just going to put this aside for now. So before we go through the specific instructions, let me tell you in general what we mean by provisioning a device, just so this will make sense. It's the same as setting up a device in your home, a TiVo or a new app on your phone. You get the app, you get the device, you log into your computer, you log into the cloud and you click, hey, I have a new device. It gives you a code. You type your code into the device says, hey, I'm connected to the cloud. You look at the cloud and the cloud says, hey, I see your new device. You get the latest updates, everything works. So that's exactly what we're going to do with this device. We're going to connect it to the cloud. So let's go through the steps to provision this. Step one, connect the power, HDMI, and Ethernet cables. Now you might be wondering, why are there two windows for cables? Well, there's actually two devices here. The big window here is for the video bar itself, and the smaller window is for the touchpad that you use to control your calls. So for the touchpad, you just need to connect a power over Ethernet. You can see there's also a USB slot. We'll talk about that in the next video. This is just about setting up and unboxing. And for the video bar, we connect our power, our HDMI, so we'll have it up on a monitor. We'll be able to see what's going on, and of course to our network. And of course, there's a bunch of other connections. And again, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about those in the second video. So now our device is powered up. We see it up on a monitor and it's connected to the Ethernet, it's connected to the internet, but we have a problem. The touchpad's still in the box. We can't really use it to enter our codes. So this is step two. Using a PC or a laptop, we access the web console. We use the IP address that's displayed on the screen, and we'll use a web portal to do what we would normally do with the tablet since it's still in the box. The next steps are just to log in and follow the wizard on the screen, which is going to direct you, like I said before, to go to the Jabra cloud and get your provisioning code and connect it to the Jabra cloud. After that, there's one optional step, but it's really important. You can also connect this to your Zoom or your Teams cloud. You can make this a Zoom or Teams room bar, and it's the same process. You go to your Zoom cloud, your Teams cloud, new device, new room, get the code, type the code in here, device says, hey, now I'm a Zoom room, and your Zoom cloud says, hey, we see your new device. And then the last step, I told you I was excited about another side of this box, you'll see in a second, get the provisioning code and the installation details and write them on the side of the box. So then we just unplug our cables, close up our panel, put our sticker on, and we're ready to ship it off. So that's how you use these windows. But why is it such a big deal? I saw a video on Jabra's YouTube channel, and they showed that if you get a new device, fresh out of the box, not provisioned, you can open the box, drill a couple holes in the wall, hang it up, connect it to your monitor, set it up, connect it to both clouds, and make your first call within 12 minutes. So if it just takes 12 minutes to set up, why not just ship these out to your team in your different facilities and tell them to do the 12-minute setup? Well, first of all, you might not want all your remote people to have the login for the admin account for the company cloud services. And if it's just one or two, sure, you can log in, get on the phone with them, and read out the codes to them. But what if there's hundreds? And what if some are in the facility in New York, and some are in Chicago, and some are in San Francisco, and some have Zoom, and some have Teams? Even if you trust your team with the logins, there's a lot of chance of confusion. You want to set them up at your station and with your local team, and you don't want to unbox 100 devices and rebox them. You want to use these windows to set them up. And that's why I'm so excited about the next side of this box, because once you configure them and you close the panels, you put the sticker back on and you're ready to ship them, there's still this chance of confusion, especially if you have hundreds of these devices. But look at what we have here. Okay, so first of all, building in room name. I know that this device is going to the right room. The firmware version and date, I know exactly what's in the box, whether it's Wi-Fi or internet, how it's mounted. If there's a mount that's not included, I'm making sure I'm putting it on the truck with this device. Same thing for the touch controller. I know exactly how it's mounted. And when this arrives, my local person who's setting it up will see exactly what they're supposed to do to mount it. I know if it's a Teams room, I know the codes, a Zoom room or a BYOD room, if it's neither Teams or Zoom, if you're just going to use it with your local device, and exactly how it's going to be set up. No chance of confusion. Now, maybe I'm making too big a deal out of this. You could make your own checklist to do this. We don't need Jabra to do this for us. But the fact that the fact that they have this attention to detail is a really good sign for what's going to happen when we actually review the product. Okay, so I knew this wasn't going to be a typical unboxing, but we're how many minutes in and I still haven't opened the box. So let's do that now. All right, and more instructions. I'm one of those people who likes the instructions. I'm going to follow the instructions, especially when Jabra has already proven to me that they're paying so much attention to detail. So let me back this out so you could see. First, what's in the box? We have the video bar, looks like the back panel, the tablet, stand for the tablet, power cord, USB cord, HDMI cord, and not included some other cords that we're going to need. I mentioned before, power over Ethernet. And we have our mounting options, and then we have, well, step 2. I'm going to start with step 1. I follow the instructions. Step 1 is mounting the bar on the wall. And this is weird. It looks like this diagram is of the piece of cardboard that the diagram is on. It says to flip me. So let's flip this over. And here we have our positioning guide. So how low do you mount this below the monitor? You see right here, we connect this to the monitor and we have our 2 drill holes. Put our 2 screws in there and connect our mount to it. So flipping it back over, that's what I just said, right? We hang it below here, drill our 2 holes, and then connect our mount. So let's put this aside for now. And here we have our video bar and cables. Here we have our power cable, USB. Here we have our HDMI, lens cap, and the panel for the back of the video bar. Now, before we pull out the video bar, let's just look at our step 2 of the instructions, make sure we didn't miss anything. And it looks like we're going to connect the bar to power, HDMI to the screen, and to our Ethernet. And then it just gives us some cable management tips. And finally, let's take a look at our video bar. Let's put these over here for now. And take this out. And here we have it. Looks like we have some coverings over the side. Let's just pull that off. Okay, so after getting those off, we do the satisfying peeling of the plastic off of the lens. And here we go. You can see here's our lens cap, so we feel secure. Here's the device itself, and you could see it's designed for small spaces, as we'll get into the second video. Now, I promised the second video was reviewing the product. This is just about the unboxing, but there's one thing I have to show you now because it's so cool, and it seemed like that big a deal. But again, attention to detail is this hinge. This hinge lets you mount it on the wall, and now the pictures that you saw before, you might want to scroll back and look, actually make sense. You can mount it on the wall, and when it's mounted on the wall, you have access to all the ports, so you can plug in everything, which would be hard to do if it's flat against the wall. How are you going to do that? And then after you have all your cables in and you have your back panel on, you just, well, not doing it very gracefully, close the hinge and it's popped up flat against the wall. Again, the attention to detail, that just makes it so much easier to install. I don't want to be like reaching behind something and trying to squeeze my way in with my little fingers to try to get to plugs. I want to be able to peel it down and get full access if I need to get back there. Very cool. And finally, on this side of the box, we have, well, this is the stand for the tablet, which we'll get to in a second. And under it is the tablet. And again, we have some directions. I love my directions. Step 3, touch controller setup. and it shows how to connect it with power over the Ethernet and our options for how to mount it. You can connect the stand in different ways and it gives you different mounting options. So let's put that aside and take a look at our tablet. Take it out of its little case here. And here we go. Touchscreen tablet. And as I said, you can see this angle here and the angle of this stand. So if you want it flat on a wall, I'm not going to do a good job here. You connect it this way, it'll be flat on a wall. If you connect it this way, it'll be, hold on, it'll be at an angle on the wall like this, or have options when it's down. I'm doing a terrible job of this, but you get the idea. Depending on how you want it, you can connect it in different ways and have it at the angle you want, whether it's on the table or on the wall. So that wraps up our unboxing. And again, I have to say, I'm so impressed by the attention to detail. It's like they really took the time to sit and think, what else can we do to be helpful to our customers? There's so many little things about the packaging of this device that will make life easier for the people who have to install and manage it. So I have high expectations for the actual product review, which we'll get to in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and please like and subscribe.